Good morning, fourth graders. Today we're going to be working on finding area and looking for an unknown side. So when we are finding area, we have been used to having the length and the width because we know that area is equal to length times width. So normally we know that we would take these measurements, let's say we're working with feet, and we would say that 6 times 3, length times width, would be 18. Our units are feet, and we always square area. Now, what happens though if we get a problem and there's a side missing? Now, in these problems, if there is a side missing, that would be really hard for us to do. In the problems we're going to be getting, you are going to know the length of one side. So let's say that the length of this is 8, and we're going to know the area. We're going to know what it totals. So let's say that this is 24 feet squared. So that means when we're looking for the area, we know it's length times width. So we know the length. Our job here is to discover the width so that we can find the area. So how we do that is if we say the area is length times width, well, let's see what parts we do know. We know that the total is 24, and we know that 8 is the length. So one way you can set that up is you could say, okay, area 24 feet squared is equal to 8 times what? Oh, sorry, I'm blocking it. So 24 feet equals, because area, equal sign, say the same, 8 times what? So now all you have to do is say, okay, well, I know that 8 times 4 is 24. So let's double check that. Area is length times width. 8 times 4 is 24. And you know that you have found the correct length of this side. And we know that it's in feet because when you're just talking about the length of a side or one side, it's going to be feet. The area is the part you square. So let's take a look at another one. I'm going to have a shape here. And we are going to say that this is 7. And we're going to say that the area is 21 feet squared. Okay, so we're looking for our missing side. So remember, all you have to do is use your formula to help you. Area equals length times width. Okay, well, we know our area is 21 feet squared. We know our length is 7. And we're looking for our width. What are you, width? So, times W, times blank. So 7 times what is 21? Well, 7 times 3 is 21. So that must mean that the length of, or the width of this missing side is 3 feet. Same thing if you know the width and not the length. I'm going to draw my shape here. Let's say that you know that the area is 32 feet squared. Inches, units, meters, it could be any unit. And now we know that over here, we know that the width is going to be 4 feet. Okay, so we set that up the same way. Area equals length times width, or area equals width times length. It's the exact same thing. It's just switched around. Remember, that's the commutative property. It doesn't matter how it looks because it doesn't matter if you have 8 times 4, 4 times 8, it's always going to be the same answer. So we know that 32 feet squared is equal to, we know one side, 4 feet times what? So 4 times what is 32? 8 times 4 is 32. So the missing length is going to be 8 feet. The most challenging part you're going to get today is you're going to be working with larger numbers. This is going to prove to you how much you learned when we were doing double-digit multiplication and when we were doing long division. So I'm going to give you an example of a problem that you might come across. So I'm going to make our shape. Okay. And this time it tells me in our problem that our inside, our area, is going to be 85, let's say we're talking about inches squared. Now we are going to know, let's say that we know the length. And the length is going to be 17 inches. So our job is going to be figuring out what our missing width is. So remember, you're saying 17 times what is 85? Well, I don't know that math fact, so I'm going to have to divide. Because remember, when you say 17 times what is 85, it's the same thing as saying 85 divided by 17. So let's see what that is. 85 divided by 17. Okay, well, let's go through some different examples. Let's try to figure this out. Let's start with 17. I know 17 times 1 is 17. Well, what about 17 times 2? It's got to be bigger than that. Let's try 17 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2. That's 68. We got to go a little bit higher. What about 17 times 5? Well, 7 times 5 is 35. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 more is 8. We got it. That means that 17 times 5 is 85. So let's see if that works. I'm going to put 5 inches here. We said 17 times 5 is 85, or 85 divided by 17 is 5. And all I did was I just practiced, and I had to try a few different things. I had to see what times 17 made 85. Let's finish it up with one more problem. I'm going to draw my shape here. Okay. And let's say I know that my area is 165, we'll do inches again, inches squared. And let's say I know that the length right here, the width right here, is going to be 5 inches as well. So remember, squared is going to be for our area, and then over here we just have inches because it's just the length. So let's see. Remember, we're trying to figure out 5 times what, because length times width gets you our area. So 5 times what gets you 165? Well, I'm not sure of that either. So I'm going to come over here, and I am going to set up our problem and do some division. 5 times what equals 165? I don't know. So 5 divided by 165 is what? Well, this is bringing back our skills of long division. 5 times what is close to 1 without going over? We could put a 0 there because 5 times nothing can be 1 without going over. So let's go to a 16 now. 5 times what is close to 16 without going over? 5 times 3 is 15. So multiply. Subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. Remember, bring it on down and bring it on back. That's when we divide. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Multiply. 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract. 0. And we have no remainder. So remember, our answer is going to be right here at the top. So 5 times 33, we're working in inches, that is going to be our missing length. So good luck today, guys, with your missing or unknown side. Just remember, you're going to try to find the other side so you can multiply them together and find the area. And sometimes that's going to take you dividing. Please let me know if you need any help today. Goodbye.